Hello, everyone. This is Joe. I don't have a title for my um, webcast yet. I'm going to open up a group on YouTube going forward, but I'm making this video impromptu and unscripted because of Claudia's video she just put out this morning. This is August 15th, and she articulates very well the feelings that a lot of people have, especially me. There's a lot of frustration in in the nation, especially those who followed Bernie Sanders. Um, we all contributed our hearts and our finances into the movement that he was leading, and we really felt like we was going to make a difference. And I'd like to encourage um, Claudia to keep up the good work because she's been an inspiration to me. I watch her videos every day, um, and they're insightful and they're heartfelt, and they just really articulate what a lot of people think. And she gives um, good direction. Um, I know that whenever Bernie endorsed Hillary, that crushed a lot of people and shocked a lot of people. They say that that he was, in the end, that's what he would do anyhow in support of the Democratic Party. But I never really heard that coming from him. Um, Actually, I heard him say that um, whatever he does, that he wants us to stand up with our own mind and think and do what we think is right. And I think that's the spirit of the message that he has sent out to everybody. And I think we need to follow through with that. Um, I'm not going to say uh, who we should be supporting as a candidate. Um, I am going to say that we need to look at the issues um, and do whatever we can, or I will do whatever I can to support the issues of the people. Um, I'm not a politician. I used to be a chess player, and trying to think 20 to 30 moves down the road can give you a headache after a while, especially when you have a clock that you're playing the game with. So I'm 51 now, and I don't want to um, be analyzing everything to the nth degree. Um, I don't have time for that. I work hard supporting my family, um, and there's not enough time in the day for me to really play the game, so to speak. So I'm just going to do whatever I can to support the issues. Um, for those that know me on Facebook, you already know where I stand on things. But one thing that Bernie um, wanted us all to do is get involved at the community level. Um, and I find at the community level, there's a lot of undertones or community issues that don't even gravitate up to the national level that needs attention. And I think that by um, people that come out from the Bernie movement and the other progressive movement that seems to be intermingled into one movement, um, even though there is seems to be little fractions in that. But I think overall we have the same goal. We want the progressive issues to be pursued, and so I agree that we need to start out at the local level, and that's going to take some time. I know it's frustrating. We see the deaths in the world from these wars. We see the homelessness in our own nation, and it's just heart wrenching um, that we can seemingly stand up and still nothing get done. But in reality, Um, I think it's just, I think we really are moving forward. We see a lot of people being elected to office that are supporting progressive movements, or the progressive movement, and the issues that we all were addressing for under Bernie Sanders. Um, so um, I would say let's not lose heart and just keep moving forward. And while we are frustrated with what's happening around the world, if we focus too much on that, I think that we lose sight of what's happening in our local communities, and we really need to push up from that level. I recently um, got involved in politics um, at the local level because of the encouraging message that Bernie sent out to all of us, asking us to get involved. And it's been a real rewarding experience. Um, while I still haven't done anything concrete, I'm learning more about my community, and I think that's important. Finding out why people don't go out to vote, that's important. Um, Finding or teaching or trying to show people that they can influence their communities by getting out a vote is important. So people like Claudia, Tim Black, I forget the guy's name with Real Progressives. Um, I also give a shout out to the Green Party. They're carrying some really strong issues that are aligned with the progressive movement. Actually, I consider them part of the progressive movement. Um, so I I noticed I didn't want to endorse a candidate on a video, but I think we need to align ourselves with um, the progressive movement and the issues that we all collectively are representing, like Black Lives Matter um, and some of those other ones. It's amazing. Um, Once I started looking into Black Lives Matter and seeing all this violence um, in the nation, um, how much I've learned about what's really going on. I've been ignorant for so long. There was actually a time whenever I was growing up that I thought racial issues were a thing of the past. But as I came into adulthood, um, I was really blindsided um, and heartbroken that it's still a raw issue in the nation. And understanding, I don't pretend to understand the full depths of that, but I am learning about it. And I see more and more how these racial tensions are minority issues and the deportations um, are all kind of intertwined and really puts a face on what real America is like. And I know it's frustrating that we don't see things changing um, at the national level as fast as we would like. Um, but I have to tell you that I am of the firm belief and the hope that we have people all over the nation just as committed as I am, as Claudia is, as Tim Black is, as the guy from Real Progressives is, um, and the progressive candidates are, um, that they are really committed to making things happen. And I think that there's a tidal wave of or undercurrents that are just surfacing that's going to really make big change in America. We are seeing um, how corrupt our system really is. Um, when I was growing up, I thought this was the greatest nation in the world. It might actually still be that. it could be that the other nations are countries are even worse than we are. I don't know. But this is the country I'm living in, and the, and I don't plan on moving anytime soon. I have family roots all over here. So I'm going to do everything in my power to um, support the progressive issues. Um, I think single payer healthcare is a necessity, so I'm going to be pushing that. Um, I think that the school debt, I've accumulated a lot of debt, and that was a student debt, and that was at age 48. And I would really like to see that wiped out because that paying that back is uh, a good chunk of my monthly income. So having that wiped out um, would be incredible. And the logic sounds very solid as how that could happen. I mean, whenever the banks were bailed out, um, I didn't agree with it, but I really didn't know much about any of that kind of stuff. Um, but to see that even though they were bailed out, they're still in their old ways, which would imply that another bailout will probably be needed. Um, I think that breaking up the banks is important, and I think this time we really need to bail out the 42 million um, people that are in student debt, and that leads me to that leads me to where was I? Um, Actually, I forgot where I was, but the important thing is I think change is really happening already in the hearts and minds of a great number of people around the world, um, or around the country. And I think we just need to be resolute in that uh, dedication, to making change. And it might be slow coming, but I think it can be an exciting time for us as we stand together and mobilize. Um, we see that well, that's where I was. The mainstream media. Um, I see terrible slants from the media, um, and so we're stuck with social media. And social media is a great thing because you get a lot of raw content. But along with that content, you get people of all ages, all maturities. Um, you get false information, you get true information. So there's a lot of work involved to find out what really is truly going on. But I've learned from experience this past year that it's going to be hard to get that from the mainstream media. So we have what we have. We have the social media, um, and that brings up the internet censorship. I hope that isn't happening. I hope it's not coming. But I think that that should be also part of our movement is finding alternative ways to keep communication alive between us. I've been looking into peer-to-peer uh, networking, social networking. So I'm going to look into that and see what I can find that way. Um, but anyhow, in the end, this is just the beginning. We are starting to coalesce, and I would encourage Claudia to keep up the great work. You have a tremendous voice. I've seen you grow incredibly in the past couple of months, and to your audience, and don't lose hope. Um, I'm a testament that more people are coming out through social media in support of the progressive movement. And I will be setting up a channel on YouTube and have more of these videos down the road. But again, chin up, let's move forward. And I'm really happy to be part of the team. Thank you.